Hello and welcome back to the next Psalm in our 150 days through the Psalms. We're in Psalm 76 this morning, and my name's Theo, and it's great to be able to be with you and sharing some thoughts from the Psalm. It's a Psalm that speaks of God as the warrior, the one who can defeat and has and will defeat his enemies. And so it can, perhaps as we start to look at it, perhaps feels a little bit strange or a little bit we're kind of wondering how does that work? How do I kind of read, pray, and kind of want to put this into action in our lives? But I hope that we can get some helpful stuff from it. I'm going to read a little bit, just a few verses from the Psalm, but I encourage you to kind of go away and read through the whole of the Psalm as you come to it. So I'm just going to read the first few verses, 1 to 4, then jump to 8, and then 11. Hope that makes sense. In Judah, God is known. His name is great in Israel. His tent is in Salem, his dwelling place in Zion. So the psalmist opens up by saying God's reputation goes before him. His kind of reputation precedes him, like a great sports star or a celebrity. Their reputation goes before them. What is God's reputation? Well, there God broke the flashing arrows, the shields and swords, the weapons of war. So God, the one whose reputation is renowned goes before him, is the one who defeats the enemies. Verse 4, you are resplendent with light, more majestic than mountains, rich with game. I'll jump to verse 8. From heaven you proclaim judgment, and the land feared and was quiet. When you, O God, rose up to judge, to save all the afflicted of the land. So the God of judgment, the God who kind of acts to make the world right. That's what God's judgment is. It's God acting to get rid of that which is wrong, that had gone wrong with the world, and to put it right as it was supposed to be, to get rid of evil and darkness and pain. Verse 11. The response of the people to this God, to the one who defeats their enemies, is this: make vows to the Lord your God and fulfill them. Let all the neighboring lands bring gifts to the one to be feared. The response of the people to kind of hearing about this God who would defeat their enemies, is to renew their vows. And so perhaps you this morning, or whenever you're listening to this, the thing for you to kind of pray through is just to renew your vows to God, to say thank you to God, that he's the one that is making the world right. And though it feels really hard to picture that at the moment, we pray in hope and faith for the new coming kingdom, the God who is making all things new, who is restoring his creation, who is renewing his creation, and who has defeated his enemies on the cross and will one day come again to claim his victory and see an end to sickness, death, pain, coronavirus, suffering, evil, and wrongdoing, injustice. It's the hope that's the God that we pray to, and that's the hope that we have. And in light of that hope, people have to renew their vows to the Lord. So maybe that's what you need to do this morning, is just to renew your vows to God. But for others, perhaps I want to encourage you to meditate on, particularly on verse 4. Verse 4 is kind of gives a few different pictures of kind of words of praise to this God. It says you are radiant with light. Number one, you are radiant with light. It's kind of the picture of light is the picture of the opposite of darkness. It's kind of all that is wrong is represented by darkness, and all that is good is represented by light. And so we praise the beautiful, radiant God, the one of light. We kind of look to him and his light to shine in the darkness, in the dark areas of our lives. Maybe you just need to know the God of light this morning, the God of beauty and hope. The God who is more majestic than mountains. The mountains are a picture of stability and solidness. And this God that we worship, is more majestic than a mountain. He is strong and steadfast in a time of uncertainty. And finally, the mountains are rich with game. That's a picture of abundance. And maybe you need to know this morning a God who can abundantly provide for your needs. So meditate on verse 4, the God who is beautiful, the opposite of darkness. He is all that is light and good. He is majestic and steadfast like a mountain, and the mountains are rich with game, the abundance of God. God bless.